So, Jay Baba, today we are reading this book, My Place, set in Australia. It's the premise is so cool. It takes a place, this kind of apartment in a row of apartments, I guess you'd say, but it goes back 10 years by decades. It goes back in the same place, in my place, by 10-year increments until you get way back to Aboriginal times. It's such a neat concept, I think, to think about where you live and wonder, what was happening 30 years ago or 50 years ago. So anyway, this is My Place by Nadia Wheatley and Donna Rollins. Okay.
Baba.
Okay, Ralph, I'm muting you.
Oh, sorry. My bar was due.
All right. So here's the first. Okay. This is her name is Laura, and she you notice in her window there's it's a flag. It's probably kind of political for the Aboriginal movement. I'll read the story. My name is Laura, and this is my place. I turned 10 last week. Our house is the one with the flag on the window. Tony says it shows we're on Aboriginal land, but I think it means the color of the earth. Back home, here, I'll show you again. Okay, here's the flag, see, that she's talking about. Back home, Mom and Dad live here too, and Terry and Lorraine and Auntie Bev, and Tony and Diane and their baby Dean. He's my nephew. He's so cute. We come from Burke, but Dad thought there'd be more jobs in the city. This is me and Gully. Here's Gully. Where is she? I have to keep her on a leash because she chases cars. She comes from Burke too. I guess she thinks they're sheep. This is a map of my place. Throughout the book, every kid has a map of this same place, and you see how it changes over time. It's the kind of book you could sit with. You know what? I'm going to have to quickly block the sun, so I might as well do it right now. There we go. It's not working. Sorry. This time of day, sunrise is right in my eyes. Okay. Okay. So this is a map of my place. We've got a McDonald's right on the corner. And there's the map. And here's her tree. And this tree is always there in the maps. In the McDonald's yard, there's this big tree, and whenever I sit in it, it always makes me feel good. There's a canal down at the bottom of the street, and Mom says it must have been a creek once. It's too dirty to swim in, but Tony made me a tin canoe, and now some of the other kids are making them too. If you tip over and go in, the water tastes yucky, and your parents go wild. For my birthday, Mom said we could eat at McDonald's. We sat outside under the tree, and it felt just like home. So there they are, sitting under the tree. Okay, now we're going back 10 years. And he says, here's, this is my place. This is this little boy talking. 1978. I'm Mike. I'm nearly 7. I live with mom and dad and Yaya and Auntie Sophia. Yaya is my grandmother, but I call her that because she's Greek. I don't speak very much Greek, but I kind of always understand what she's saying. We have Easter lunch in the backyard under the grapevine. There's roast lamb and salad, and of course, I got chocolate. But we have red dyed eggs too, and we have a contest about cracking them. I'm the best at it. So here he is cracking the red egg, and here's this is okay. Mike. This is a map of my place. Okay, here's the map again. So if you're looking at this book, if you have it, you can kind of study it and see how it changes over time. When you're at the top of the big tree and a jet goes over, you feel as if you're going to fall out. Mom wants to move because of all the noise, but I like the planes and trucks and stuff. Auntie Sophia and I often go to the canal. She says if you went down it and into the river, then to the bay, you would be on your way to overseas. All right, so now back to 1968. Same place. My name's Sophia, and this is my place. I'm 10. Baba's just painted our house blue. He comes from Greece. So here's the blue house. It's kind of it's an immigrant neighborhood, obviously, kind of a bit run down. He comes from Greece, and he says lots of houses on his island were this color. I think it's real pretty. I live with Mama and Baba and Marula and Paul McCartney. I've got a big brother called Michaelis, but he's a soldier in Vietnam. Mama lights candles to pray that he comes home soon and isn't hurt. This is me and Paul McCartney. There. Marula reckons John Lennon's best, but I like Paul. Before Michaelis went away, we had a goodbye party, and he invited his girlfriend. So here he is over there. She looked a bit left out because all of us were speaking Greek, mostly. Michaelis looked weird in his new haircut. He didn't want to go, but he said the law said he had to. I wish that war would stop. This is a map of my place. And again, here's the map. Marula works at the milk bar. I put messages in bottles and send them down the canal. And sometimes when I want to think about things, I go up the big tree in the statue yard. There are more people in the street now because of the flats, but they don't seem to have any kids. All right, so now we go back to 1958. And this kid is Michaelis, young Michaelis, the one who went off to war. But at school, I say it's Mick. I'm 11. I was born in Kalimnos, but my parents moved here because there wasn't enough work on our island. Baba used to be a sponge diver, but now he drives a taxi. Mama sews shirts at home so she doesn't learn to speak English much. I've already got a sister called Marula, and now I have a new one called Sophia. After Sophia got christened, we had a party. Baba and I had to make a fence so no one would tread on the new grapevine. So here's their party. Sometimes I think there are more Greek people around here than there are on Kalimnos. Here's a map of my place. So, and so here's the map again on this page. And down at the bottom, he says, this is me and my silkworms. They don't have names. I feed them on mulberry leaves. Their silk is soft and golden. Up near the depot, there's a big tree and I play Tarzan. That and Zorro are my favorite shows. Sometimes at the end of the day, our family goes for a little walk beside the canal, like we used to around the harbor back in Kalimnos. It's pretty dirty, and there aren't any cafes or anything, but Mama says if you shut your eyes, you can pretend it's the Aegean. All right, 1948. Still at my place. There she is. She is. My name's Jen, and this is my place. I'm 8.5. I live with Mama and Grandpa and Auntie Bridie. So this is an Irish family. And now there's my new dad. My real dad's dead. He went to the war before I was born, so I never even saw him. But Mom says I've got his hair. When Mom married my new dad, we had a party. So here she is getting married. Uncle Patty and Uncle Call came, and Miss Miller from next door, and the Malcolms from the other side. Miss Miller's going to be 90 next year. My new dad's got a car. It's green. Here's a map of my place. Mom says when she was a kid, there used to be heaps more shops. Now here's the map. They're knocking the haunted house down, but Miss Miller yelled at them and made them promise not to touch the big tree. She told them I've got a swing in it. At the bottom of the street, there's a canal. They built a fence, but it always seems to get holes in it. Sometimes I fish down there, but I never catch anything. This is me and Soxy. And here's the dad with the green car. Dad says we might move way out into the suburbs soon and get a house with a big yard all around it. But I think Soxy would hate it. He likes how it smells here. Okay, now we're at 1938. It's the Depression. And there's my place. Oh, next to it's all boarded up. This is my place. I'm Call. I'm almost 11. In my house, there's Pa and Declan and Bridie and Kath and Jack. My ma got pneumonia when I was little, and Patty's up country somewhere looking for work. Miss Miller next door is kind of like family too. When Keith and Jack got married, Kath and Jack got married, she gave him her piano. The night the Thompsons got evicted, it was like a party in the street. Okay, so here's the Thompsons. The bailiffs had stuck all their things out on the footpath and boarded up the house. So Mrs. Thompson knocked down the fence and built a big fire. Everyone brought a pot of stew or some spuds or something. And when we finished eating, Pa got out his fiddle. It didn't seem awful then, but the next day they went away to the unemployed camp, and we never ever see them anymore. And then, so here they are. That's the party. And then this is a map of my place. Pa and Declan got put on relief work to turn the creek into a canal, but it's finished, so they're back on the dole again. We used to swim in the canal when our parents weren't around, but now there's no one to mess around with. My mate Tomo, still, when he lived here, we snitched some wood from the old house and built a fort in the big tree. And this is me and Bessie, this chicken. There. She's laid her eggs in my billy cart, and I can't use it for my paper run. I hope they hurry up and hatch. Okay, so now it's 1928. And it looks like it's still the Irish folks that are there. I think there's a big Irish population in Australia here too. My name's Bridie, and this is my place. I'm 7. I was born in Dublin, but Pa and Mama left because there wasn't much work there. Now Pa reckons jobs are getting hard to find here too. The rest of my family is Patty and Declan and Kathleen now Colum. Mama says he was a surprise. Pa and Daddy and Declan all work at the brickworks. Dick had to put his age up because he's only 13. I don't have a pet, but Kath and I look after Carl in the afternoon because Mom cleans out all the flats. We put him in the pram and bounce him along the creek until he goes to sleep. I wish the creek was clean enough to swim in. This is a map of my place. Again, a map. Last year they put in poles, so now our lights are electric. It's exciting living here because the airport's nearby and sometimes planes fly over. I climb up the big tree and wave to the pilots. Mom says we're lucky here because we've got good neighbor. Miss Miller lets Kath and me play her piano. And if we catch Henry's bus, he won't let us play. The Thompsons on the other side have a radio. Lorna Thompson's my best friend. We had a party last St. Patrick's Day. Here's the Saint of Ireland on the wall. He's the Saint of Ireland. Oopsie. He's the Saint of Ireland. We had a party last St. Patrick's Day. He's the Saint of Ireland, and we all wear green for him and sing and dance. Pa got a bit sad because he was missing home. So Mama invited the next doors in to cheer him up. So there they are, singing. Okay, now 1918. This is the end of World War I. This is my place. Mom calls me Bertie, but Eddie and all the blokes at the hospital call me Champ. I'm 9. My brother Eddie's only got one leg, but he's still great at cricket. So this is Eddie down here with the goat. No, I'm sorry. This is this is Champ. Eddie's the one with the amputated leg. Okay. My brother Eddie's only got one leg, but he's still great at cricket. He and the blokes sometimes let me play with them down by the creek. I live with Mum and Eddie and my sister Ev, and we rent the front room to Miss Walkley from church. Dad died at Gallipoli. Miss Walkley says that's something to be proud of, but I reckon it stinks. He was a great spin bowler. This is me and Gert, the goat. We got her to help the war effort. And this is a map of my place. Mom works in the kitchen at the hospital, and when Ev comes home from the factory, she puts on her VAD dress and goes over there. I guess that's like the war effort. I've got a tree house in the big tree. Mom says we might have to move to the country because we can't afford to live here now, but I don't want to. On the day the war ended, people danced in the street. And blokes hugged each other on the lawn, but Mom started crying. Then Miss Miller cried and Mr. Miller cried because their Tom and Fred won't be coming home either. So I did some stilt walking on Eddie's crutches. Here he is over here with his stilts, and made them stop. Okay, so this is 1908. My name's Evelyn, and this is my place. I'm 10. We moved here because it's close to the city for Father to get to the bank. Mother teaches music at the private school, but of course Eddie and I go to the ordinary school. On the way home, we always wait near the gas pump on Muller's Corner in case a motor car stops. Father says the main road will be tar soon, and there'll be even more traffic. Of course, Eddie pesters Father about when will we get a motor car, but you'd have to be as rich as anything for that. This is me and old Ned. He used to pull a bus. There she is. But Mr. Muller put him out to pasture when the trams went electric. He says poor Ned just couldn't keep up. Last cracker night, okay, now this page. We had a bonfire down near the creek. We got firecrackers from the Chinese shop. Mr. Muller said it reminded him of old times. This is a map of my place. On weekends, I play under the big tree. Mr. Muller says when he was a boy, a dragon lived across the street. When I was little, I used to believe him. All right, now this is 1898. Here we go. Still at my place. This is my place. My name's Rowley. I'm 8. Mom and me, we rent upstairs, front room. Auntie Addie rents the middle room, and Miss Singer rents the back. Mom works at the laundry with Auntie Addie. She's not really my auntie, but I call her that. Downstairs, there's Mr. Mary. He does photographs, but on weekends, he has an ice cream cart, and he lets me and Tommy Muller help him. Tom lives next door. His auntie's got a bicycle. This is a map of my place. The big tree belongs to the posh school, but I climb it anyway. A bit down the creek, it turns into a canal, and there are barges. Before my dad went away, he helped build it. Mom says he just couldn't find any more work, and one day he might come back. So here's the map. And here's the little boy, 1898. Once a month, Mrs. Mary has a party. It's called the Labor Party, and it's just grown-ups sitting in this room and talking. Oh, Miss Muller goes, but Mom and Auntie and Addie don't go. Mr. Mary gives Tom and me a shilling to run to the pub and bring them back some beer. He lets us keep the change. So this is the Labor Party. It's all the men. This is me and Ned Kelly. He's the front horse on Mr. Muller's bus. Mr. Muller reckons you've got to be an outlaw to beat the new trams. I like to be a tram driver when I grow up, but most people around here make bricks, so maybe I will too. Mr. Mary reckons every brick in every house tells a story. Okay, this is 1888. My name is Victoria. And let's see, my name's Victoria, and this is my place. My father is a builder, and he built our house. And father and mother and Wesley and Charles and May and I are the first people ever to live here. Father built the next door house too for the Mullers. And now he started 2 more houses on the other side. Our house is the biggest. Whoopsie. We've got 3 bedrooms upstairs, and downstairs there's a parlor and a dining room and a breezeway. We've even got running water. Mother says it's like a dream come true, but sometimes Father looks worried. This is a map of my place. There we go. Mother reckons you get sick if you even look at the creek, but Father says it'll get better soon when they finish putting in the sewer. Sometimes I play on the swing in the big tree, but the Owen girls don't talk to me, as if I'd care. The hotel's just changed its name because of the centenary. Mother won't even let me walk on that side of the road. We're all in the Temperance League. This year, Australia had its 100th birthday. We went to the centennial picnic with the Mullers in their horse bus. Miss Muller works in town at the telephone exchange, and she catches the train to work. Mother says ladies don't have jobs, but I want to be something when I grow up. This is me and Squawker. Sometimes he gives you a real fright. Once he made the Dunnican man drop everything. All right, 1878. So no house now. This is my place. My name's really Heinrich, but everyone except my grandparents call me Henry. I'm 10. When my mother died, Mina stopped being a teacher, and she looks after Father and Anna and me. I used to have a little brother too, but he got the gastro. My grandparents and Uncle Wolf live on top of the new shop. My grandfather says that one day I will own it. but I want to be a balloonist. I didn't tell him that. This is me and Gretchen. She's Mina's cat, but she's mine too. There he is with his cat. And here's a map of my place. This is a map of my place. I go over the fence and climb the big tree and pretend I'm on a balloon. The creek's so dirty. Mina won't let me play in it. She says it's like an open sewer, and that's why my brother Siggy died. One night I woke up and there was this banging and yelling. I crept out in the garden and it was coming from Mr. Wong's garden. So I went across the stepping stones and there was a dragon. Okay, now we go to 1868.
Okay, I want to see that dragon a little closer.
Oh, sure.
Daddy.
Yeah, please. Yeah. There you go.
Okay, are you Frank? Wow. Wow. I came in late. What was that story?
It's called My Place.
My place. Oh, yeah.
And it takes place and it goes back 10 years back. So,
Right.
yeah. So my name's Mina, and this is my place. Here we go. I'll show you.
Mina, like a bird. M-Y-N-A-H.
Maybe it's Minna, M-I-N-N-A. It's they're German. This is German people. And we've gone through what the Greeks, or the Aboriginal folks, the Greeks, the Irish, and now it's the Germans.
Wow.
Yeah, immigrants, in Australia. We used to live in Hamburg, but I like it better here. Mutti says it's too hot and too dusty there, and there's no culture. And if I don't practice the piano, I will turn into a heathen savage, like Wong Vang Lek. I'd quite like to be a savage. Next door to our house, Vatu's built a workshop. He makes saddles and harnesses and stuff like that. And my big brothers, Carl and Wolf, help him. Carl's wife, Eva, lives with us too. She's going to have a baby soon. I hope it's a girl. Here's a map of my place. I hide in the big tree sometimes when Mutti starts yelling about piano practice. Bati says the creek's a scandal. It's so stinky and sludgy. Oopsie. So here's, okay. Oh, and then, yeah, here, this is the map. Okay. And here's his friend, the friend that he Wong Bang Lek. At Christmas time, we have a proper German party with a fir tree and candles. Then we sing around the piano. It still seems funny without any snow, but the food tastes good. And this is me and my kitten, Gretchen. Oh, so me is a girl. Oh, Mina. Okay. Or Minna. Her name is Minna. Okay. This is me and my kitten, Gretchen. Lek gave her to me. Sweet. Some of the other kids chase after Lek and pull his pigtail, but he's my friend. Now we go back to 1958. Here we go. This is my place. My name's Benjamin Franklin, and I'm 12 years old. I was born in San Francisco, but mother says dad got gold fever. First, we went to Californian fields, but he didn't find anything, so we moved to Australia. And he tried his luck out Bathurst way. And when that was no good, we moved here. Now dad works for Mr. Moffat, but I don't think he likes it. So here we are. This is the picture. Let's see. I'm gonna spotlight myself here just a sec. Oh, all right. Like Thanksgiving, mother cooked a turkey just like she used to do at home. Sometimes I wish I wasn't American because the other kids laugh at how I speak. But dad says one day, everyone in the world will be free and equal and like brothers and sisters. When I think about how Beth and Amy fight, I don't think it will be much different. Okay. Here we go. And here's the next page with this cat. This is Tripod. I share her with Lek. We found her one day behind the Joss house. I think Joss is like incense, Chinese incense. The other kids tease Lecky too, so we stick together. This is a map of my place. The creek's too dirty to swim in, but Lek and I make boats and race them down it. Sometimes we hide up in the big tree and throw the figs down there at the kids who call us things. All right, this is now 1848. Pictures first, maybe. 1848. My name's Joanna, and this is my place. Soon I'll be 10. I live here with Granny Sarah because my ma died when she had me. She was called Alice. Granny Sarah grows vegetables, and I help her carry them around to people's houses and sell them. We use creek water for the garden, but you can't drink it. There's a wool washery up the swamp, and they drain all their yuck into our creek. This is a map of my place. Sometimes I creep into the Owens garden and climb the big tree. If Mr. Owen catches me, he gives me a weird look, but he just stomps away. Okay, so we're talking about where this is the garden. Granny Sarah says I'm never to go there. Last time Uncle Sam came home, we had a party. He's a sailor, and you'll never guess what he brought me. Okay, here's Uncle Sam. Auntie Marianne got the afternoon off. She's Mrs. Owen's upstairs maid. Uncle Davy still lived here, but he's gone out. Bathurst way now to be a shepherd from Mr. Charles, and Granny Sarah says that one day we might move up there too. She reckons too many people live here now, and she's fed up to the teeth with the dust of the main road and all the traffic. This is me and Mischief down here. Mischief's a monkey. Isn't he beautiful? Okay, so now 1838. Here we go. And then here's the other page. This is my place. I'm Davy and I'm 7. Just Ma and me live here now because Alice and Marianne live up at the new house and are maids. Sam's my brother, but he's on a ship catching whales. He's 14. Before Sam went away, Mr. Owen was shot by bushrangers, so Mr. John became the master. Ma says he's even worse. Mr. John sold most of the farm, and there are 3 or more big houses between here and the river. This is a map of my place. When the wind blows the wrong way, it stinks from Mr. John's tannery. I'll show you here, him on the tree again. Ma says we're really lucky we live up the good end of the creek, but she won't eat the oysters anymore. There's a swing in the big tree for Mr. John's kids, and I'm not allowed to play on it. So I climb and drop figs on them. Once Mr. John caught me and whipped me, but it was worth it. They're snobs. When I was little, my father fell off the roof of the new house and died. Ma says she hates the Owens and all their works. Okay, this is. I don't really remember him, but one night last summer, Ma took me to the creek and lit a big campfire. We stayed up all night, and she told me how Dad discovered the swimming hole. This is me and Duchess. She belongs to Mr. John, but the groom lets me brush her. Next year, I'm starting work as a stable boy. All right, so here's 1828. My name's Alice, and this is my place. I'm 9 1/4. Another girl called Alice lived here once, but she died, and Ma gave me her name. The Owens used to live here, but they're staying in Sydney town till their new house is built. Mr. John often comes back to check on things. Ma and Dad live here too, of course, and Marianne and little Sam. Dad's in charge of the farm and the convicts. They're making a quarry to get stone for the new house. I take their lunch. This is me and Wilhelmina. I love it when I scratch her back. This is a map of my place. The new house is going to be near the big tree. I got Dad to promise they won't cut it down. I love it. The creek's still pretty clean here, but Dad reckons there were lots more fish around in the olden days. The night the Owens went, we all had a party. Dad used to be a convict too, so he doesn't treat them in like slaves, like Mr. Owen and Mr. John do. Ma roasted a whole sheep, and old Freddie danced on the table. Oh, here we go with the party. All right, now 1818. Yeah. Let's see. There's this one. And then this one. This is my place. My name's Charles, and I'm 8 1/2. I live here with my mother and my brother John and my sister Meg, and sometimes my father. I had another sister called Alice, but she died. Sam and Sarah are our servants. Sam is in charge of things because father's mostly in Sydney. John says father's making money. He's got a new woolen mill across the swamp. John says he's going to make money too when he grows up, but I want to be a farmer. This is me and Daisy down here, the cow. Sarah taught me to milk her. Sarah's nice. She lets me turn the handle on the butter churn and drink the buttermilk. When Sam and Sarah got married, we had a party. There we go. Mother lent Sarah and her second best shawl, and father gave them a guinea and 3 days holiday. John got drunk on rum. This is a map of my place. The long hut up at the back is for the convicts. Mother says I'm not allowed to talk to them, but I do. The big tree is great to climb. When I'm at the top, I pretend I've crossed the Blue Mountains and I'm choosing some land for my very own farm. The other good thing is the creek. I build dams, but John breaks them up. 1808 here. Because, you know, if you have this book, if it was me, if I was a kid, I would go back through it and you figure out how all these people are connected. My name's Sarah, and this is my place. I'm 9. I was born in Sydney, but my mother came from England on a convict ship. Oh, here, I was going to show you the picture. All right. And then here. Last year she died, so Mrs. Owen took me as a servant. She doesn't beat me much, but you should see all the work I have to do. Mrs. Owen lives here too, of course, and Alan and the baby John. Mr. Owen's mainly in Sydney doing business. Mrs. Owen runs the farm, and she has 5 convict servants and Sam to help her. Sam used to be a convict, but now he is a ticket of leave man. He's more like my family than anyone in the world. I'll show you again. And here's her pet. And this is me and Pokey. I call her that because she pokes her head into my lean-to at night. I steal crusts for her, and she's learning to eat from my hand. She's my secret. I don't know what kind of an animal she is. Wombat? No, I don't know. One day, some soldiers came to see Mr. Owen. They ate and drank a lot and talked about kicking out Governor Bly. I hate it when adults get drunk and talk politics. So I snitched some jam roly and some oranges, and Alice and I went up to the big tree and had our own party. This is a map of my place. I look, here's these guys again. I look after the vegetables and they taste great. The weed and stuff all goes to Sydney. Sam swims in a deep hole in the creek, but I'm not allowed to. 1798. Okay. This is my place. My name's Sam and I was born in London. I'm 11. The judge put me in jail because I stole a jacket. I was cold. In the jail, they beat me. Then they put me on a ship and sent me here. Then they let me out to work for Mr. Owen. Sometimes he whips me too, but at least it's not cold and I can catch heaps of fish to eat. Last Christmas, Mr. Owen gave me the day off. Mrs. Owen is still in England and she sent a plum pudding. Mr. Owen drank a lot of rum and let me eat as much as I liked. I never had plum pudding or a holiday before. This is him down here. This is me and Katie. Oh, it's the goat. I milk her every morning and at night I put her in a pen in case the Aborigines get her. This is a map of my place. We're clearing the bush back to make a farm. There they are. It gives me blisters. Mr. Owens has 90 acres, but he wants to buy more. I think he's got too much already. Sometimes he goes off to Sydney Cove to get supplies and doesn't come back for a week. I get scared at night then, but in the daytime, I sneak down to the creek. I found a great swimming hole. At the top of the hill, there's a big tree. I climb up it and pretend I can see all the way to Shoreditch. That's where my mother is and my sisters and brother. I wish I had someone to play with. Oh, here he is. Okay, that's 1798. Here's 1788. My name's Bangaroo. I belong to this place. Here he is. We're staying here for the summer at the creek camp to get the fish down the bay, but often we stay a while at other places. Everywhere we go is home. I live with my parents and my brother, Berrywan, and my grandparents and my aunties and uncles and cousins. We take our tools and our hunting and fishing stuff with us when we move. But of course, we leave the huts and canoes here for next time. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like to stop in the same place always. But my grandmother says no one does that. I guess it would be boring. This is a map of this place. We camp here because the creek water is so fresh and good and we're close to the river and the bay. In the creek, there's a great swimming hole where my cousins and I always play. My father says he swam in exactly the same place when he was a boy, and my grandfather says he did too. At the top of the hill, there's a big fig tree. Let's see. This is our dog. He always sleeps with me. Last week, a whale got washed up on the bay, so we invited some other people from roundabout and had a big barbecue. As well as the meat, we had piles of vegetables and oysters and puppies and crabs and octopus, and I've forgotten what else. I ate so much I thought I'd explode. Then I fell asleep until the next nighttime party started. So there they are with the whale. And then there he is. Beautiful picture here. There he is on the tree. Sometimes at the end of the day,
I climb up to the top of the big tree and I play that I'm the only person in the world. If I look one way, the sea runs out till it meets the sky, but the other way, the land goes on till the sun sets. My grandmother says, we've always belonged to this place. But how long, I asked, and how far? My grandmother says, forever and ever. And that's the story of my place.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful.
So what's that?
Very beautiful ending of the story.
I know, so sweet. Yeah. I mean, if it's the kind of book I would let you pick up and look and figure out how it all, where it all, all the connections. Yeah. So that's a favorite of mine.
So what makes it such a favorite of yours? What is it about it?
Well, this back picture just slays me. I think it's so beautiful. Well, and then you think about, where you live, where I live, there had to be native folks around here.
Yeah.
We stop our histories when, when the white man, it's as if it began when the white man was here, but it goes way back. And that's what I like, that we're,
It's a long story. It really is.
we go way back. Yeah.
Really lovely. Yeah.
I wanted to share from Phyllis Frederick, one I always loved, her little tiny poem. Man cannot have God without telling stories. God cannot have man without creating stories. In this storytelling universe, I am only a comma. But I also think a comet.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Comma or comet?
Well, for me, it's both. It was written comma.
Okay.
I
Why?
like comet. I say comma because that's the way it was written, but to me, it's comet.
Yep. That makes sense.
Can I share?
Oh, please. Yeah.
Yeah, this is from. You want to frame me?
Oh, sure.
From that beautiful book.
Oh, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah. Nectar for the Children, with this beautiful artwork. And there were stories dictated by Mehera to Bao Kalchuri, illustrated by Nadia Wolinska. She also did that creation book too, but I love this one. So before I start, I want to see if you can pick yourself out in this picture. Where are you? And from the mystical language, Baba said, I know you from the first day of experience. Okay, and I
Gonna read that one?
love
Excellent. Okay. Oh.
I used to say cobra. The repentant cobra.
Yeah.
Wow. How fierce. That's Nadia Olinska, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she did this artwork.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story which beloved Baba had told me. In ancient times, there was a village in India. On all sides, wait a minute now, surrounded by sugarcane fields on all sides. Only a small footpath led into town to buy things. A cobra. They're more poisonous when they're little cobras. Cobritos. A cobra lived in the field, and he was so clever that he could strike without warning from any direction. He would bite a villager and then slither away. Many people died because of his bite, and all the villagers were scared. They started going out in groups, armed with sticks and spears, to kill the cobra, but they never got the opportunity. Yet, even as people were dying because of his bite, the cobra himself was repenting. Then what happened? One day, a perfect master was coming along the footpath. All of a sudden, the cobra thought, because of my bite, many people have died. I am a great sinner. Why not go to this perfect master and ask his forgiveness to make me free from my sins? The cobra appeared. The cobra approached the perfect master and said, "Master, I am a sinner. So many people in the village have died because of my bite. But now I am repenting and repenting. Master, forgive me. I am the worst sinner, but you are a perfect master. You can make me free from all these sins." And the master said to him, "I will forgive you for all your sins, provided you stop biting people." "I give you my promise," said the cobra. "I will not bite anymore. Master, please forgive me." The master said, "You are telling me that you will not bite anyone. But when I go away, then again, you will start biting the villagers. So I will wait for 15 days and see whether you have stopped biting or not. If I find that you have stopped biting, then after 15 days, I will forgive you and make you free from all your sins." The cobra accepted this. He went some distance away from the footpath and remained there, not biting anyone. And the perfect master left. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days passed. The cobra had not bitten anyone. The villagers were amazed to discover that the cobra had vanished. Somebody suggested, "Do not think the cobra has disappeared. He must be sick. Because of that, he does not come out and bite us. He must search. We must search until we spot him, and from a distance, we must throw all our stones at him. Then he will run away as fast as we can. Then we will run away. But be careful. That cobra might still come and bite us. So we must kill him first." The villagers liked this suggestion very much. And they each took up a stone in hand. Armed with their stones, the villagers went out along the footpath. Sorry, that's the only picture of the cobra.
Yeah,
He does not look very repentant.
beautiful.
After a certain distance, they found the cobra lying on the ground. Yes, he is sick, one of the villagers said, but now be alert. Everyone throw your stones and immediately run away. Otherwise, he will bite us. The villagers threw their stones at the cobra, and then they all ran away. The cobra was terribly wounded. Ants covered his body and were biting him. He was suffering and suffering. On the 15th day, the perfect master came. He searched for the cobra until he discovered him. How did this happen that you were wounded and suffering so much? Master, you asked me not to bite anyone, replied the cobra. So I stopped biting the villagers. Then they came and threw stones at me. Now I am very wounded. You fool, the perfect master said. I asked you not to bite anyone, but did I ask you not to hiss? Had you hissed at them, they would have run away. This is the perfect example of how to live in the world. You should not harm anyone, but this does not mean that you should face ill treatment from others unnecessarily. The cobra put on the cloak of modesty, and thus he suffered. Modesty is not good. Modesty is a sign of weakness. It makes you strong outwardly, but weak internally. You do not appear to others what you really are inside. But the perfect master taught the cobra humility. Humility is the best instrument to become strong, both externally and internally. It is a sign of strength and does not harm anyone. Biting is harmful, but hissing does not harm anyone. People feel scared and run away. If you hiss in order to protect yourself, it is not bad, but it should be done in a natural way. You should not carry any bad feeling against others. It is not good. You should have love for people. Only then is hissing permitted. Even in a natural life, hissing is permitted. It also does not create bad feelings in you for others. On the contrary, when you hiss at someone, they feel happy. That is the natural life. Don't become modest and hide your bad feelings. Don't try to appear good, modest before others. You should be very natural. You should not expect anything from anyone. Actually, this happens when you love God. You do not have to think. You act in a natural way because you get oneness through love. You do anything or everything for beloved Baba in order to please him. And then he takes care of you. The cobra.
Yay. Good
I
one.
love that story, and I love how Val used to say, cobra, cobra, cobra. It's a good lesson, and I'm glad I read it today.
A really good lesson. Yeah.
And the book, so it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, her artwork is so beautiful. Wow. And that's why I wish she'd done more with the cobra.
Oh. But oh, look, yeah,
Look at
exquisite.
that camel.
Look at that camel. Rosalie, come back and read some stories from there. Yeah, next time.
Yeah, but they're longer. Well,
I know. We have an hour and more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time. Yeah. They're gorgeous. They're incredible.
they are. Yeah, yeah. Sh- but I just love I just love.
I like the cobra. Oh, mischievous chicken. Oh,
That's how it all got started.
yeah.
Did
Yeah.
it start with a hen picking or a hen pecking?
Uh,
The infinite ocean. Look at all the little boats.
look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever met her. The she mouse. Mm,
Yeah.
This, yeah, the colors. Yeah, it's so wild.
I can read some more. Like they're great.
Yeah. We should. Yeah.
And
But
you
you-
mean
you-
that? Okay, what do you want? Let's see. How about the rich man in the desert?
Wow. Narayan.
Narayan Matar.
Okay.
The rich man in the desert. During my awakening of Wednesday, 25th, that's the day he was awakened, the 25th July 2001. Baba said, I thought he was born in May. I don't know. Baba said to me in his silent voice, people ask me how to live in the world. I will tell you a story so that my lovers know how to live in the world.
This is Narayan talking. Right.
Yeah.
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 Okay. All right.
There was a perfect master, and he had some followers. They would come to him and garland him, bow down to him and give him presents. Every day this program would be there with the perfect master. He would only give a short discourse, and then his followers would go away. One day, a rich man came. He did not bring anything with him. From a distance, he observed people garlanding the perfect master, bowing down to him and giving him presents. The perfect master gave a short discourse to them, and then they dispersed. After the people had left, the rich man went to the perfect master. He did not garland him. He did not bow down to him. Did not give him any present. He was teasing the master. Oh, master, what a comfortable life you are leading without doing any work. You get all respect from your people. They come, they garland you, they bow down to you, and they give you presents. Whatever you need, you get. How fortunate you are. To which the perfect master replied, one day you will come to know. Why one day? The rich man asked. What is the secret behind this? There is nothing. Just see, I work and work and work. I perspire when I earn, then I earn. And you are better off than me. Without doing any work, you get everything. One day you will come to know, the master repeated. 3 or 4 times this rich man came to the perfect master. He did not pay him any respect. He did not give him anything, and he would tease him. Each time the perfect master would only say, one day you will come to know. Eventually, the rich man had a whim that he should go on some adventure, such an adventure that no one had yet embarked upon it. At last, he thought, why not cross the desert? No one has done it before. If I do this, I'll become very popular. And because I am very rich, I can afford it. This is an ancient story. At that time, there were no means of transport. Sometimes when people would go to the desert, they would use camels, but they would not cross it. This rich man called his workers and say, get 100 camels ready, load eatables and water on them in a very big quantity. We have to cross the desert. The workers did so, and then they started off. When they reached the desert, it was very hot. The rich man started pouring water continuous on his body. They went a certain distance, and the workers thought, he is using so much water. We better warn this rich man not to use so much. The workers went to him. Master, you are using so much water. Suppose we are in the midst of the desert and there is none left. We all will die. This rich man was very, very proud. And he replied, I am paying you. Therefore, you should not make any complaint. When there is no water, we will not be able to drink the money which you are giving us, the worker said. We will want water. Either listen to me without complaint or go away, the rich man told them. All the workers left, and the rich man was alone. Because he was proud, he went on ahead, still pouring water on his body. When he was in the midst of the desert, there was no more water. He was very, very thirsty. He was dying. Then he prayed, oh God, I am dying. Give me water to drink. And a man appeared with water. When he saw him, the rich man said, please, I'm dying of thirst. Give me a little water. Give you water, the man retorted. You have to pay if you want water. Yes, yes, the rich man replied, I will pay you. How much do you want? Whatever you have here, you have to give to me. Then I will take you back. Otherwise, you will die. And when I go back with you, whatever you have, your business, property, everything you own, you have to give to me. All right, it's the same picture. So much you want for water? The rich man exclaimed. Then die if you don't want to give this to me. I don't care. The rich man was dying of thirst, and he had to accept the man's offer. The man started supplying him with water. Then he brought the rich man back home and said, now give me the charge of everything you own. The rich man had to give over his property, business, money, everything to the man with the water. Now the rich man was on the street. He had nothing. He was penniless. What to do now, he asked himself. Then he remembered the perfect master. He is the only one who can help me. He went to the master who observed, "You look so miserable. What happened to you?" The rich man told the whole story to the master. "For water, you have given everything to that man?" The master said. "He deceived you. I gave him everything because I was dying. And I would have died had he not supplied me to water." This shows that water is more valuable than your property, your business, everything. "Yes, master, I realized this. I was attached to what I was doing. It is good that that man has taken everything away." You are not free from attachment. It is still there in you. You are suffering externally and mentally. If the situation changes, you will just be the same. "No, master, now I have realized." And what happened? The man who had taken everything from this rich man was approaching. When the rich man saw him, he said, "This is the man, master, who took everything from me. But don't say anything to him because he saved my life." When the man came, the master said, "You took away everything from this rich man? You changed so much for the water? Have you no shame?" "Master, he was dying, but he wanted to live. He could not live without water. So I put my conditions upon him. If he wanted to live, he had to give me everything. And he did. So it is not my fault. I did not do him any injustice. On the contrary, he wanted to live because he was attached to this world. That's why he gave everything to me." The master listened to him and then said to the rich man, "Do you remember when you were dying? What did you say?" "Yes, master, I do remember. I prayed to God, 'Please give me some water. I am dying.' Then this man appeared. Do you know who heard your voice?" "No, master, I don't." "I heard your voice," said the master, "and I sent this man to you to supply you with water. That I just sit here and people come and garland me, bow down to me, and bring presents. That you can see, but what I really do, you cannot see." The rich man said, "Master, I now realize. Please give me shelter near you, and I will do whatever you ask. It is a very difficult life. You have to obey my order. You will have to walk on the edge of a sword. So be careful, because you are not ready to do whatever I like." "Master, I have realized it. I will never leave you. I will do my best to please you." And the master said, "Now that property, business, your money, everything belongs to me, nothing belongs to you. So this is my order. I make you the caretaker of my property, business, everything now in my possession. I am the owner. You are only my caretaker. But never think that it is yours. Whatever you had, it now belongs to me. Will you accept this?" And the rich man accepted this condition as the master's order. So this is a way to live in the world. Never think that anything belongs to you. Everything belongs to the Lord, and you are the caretaker. If you have this attitude, then God helps you, because whatever you do in order to please him. Some people leave the world and go to the forest, thinking that they have renounced the world. This is not renunciation. The whole world goes along with them because they retain their minds. And I was singing this song from a ghazal. It goes, Hamko mitasake, hamko mitasake, zamane me hamnahi, hamnahi. The world is for me. I am not for the world. Hum se zamane khuda hai. Hum se zamane khuda hai. Zamane me hum nahi. Hum nahi. The world does not have the strength to destroy me.
Wow, bravo.
Yeah, that was it was so good. You know, sometimes I know Bao loved the guzzle, so he let us sing for, it might have been 2 hours, and we were in Los Angeles at Jacko Caraco's parents' house, big room, and when we finished, I don't know what we were finished, but everyone got up spontaneously and started dancing. And I couldn't believe it because I saw Bao Kalchuri. He was springing like a spring, like off the ground, just kind of a joyous. He was bouncing off the earth. I mean, because he was always had some ailment. I thought, oh my gosh, look at Bao. It was like bouncing Bao. Yes.
Oh, what a great
Unbelievable.
story. Well, Rosalie, come back next time and read more.
Yeah, when I can. When I
Okay,
can. Yeah.
you won't be pinned down, will you? I'll come after you.
No, I would come, but I can't always come, you know.
Okay, well, we'll see.
But Baba has other things on my menu, you know. Oh my God. I have to look at that.
Ooh, yeah, beautiful. Wow.
Nadia did a good job. And look at this.
She's amazing.
The hunter.
Ooh. And the
Bring it down. And look at that tremendous tusk of the elephant. That's one thing I hope tigers don't go extinct. You know, that would make me. Yeah, they're just so beautiful. Oh, I have to show you one where she gets a little cosmic. Well, this is it's a bit cosmic.
Yeah, wow, look at that.
Wow. But these are all stories that Baba shared with Bao. So yeah, wonderful. Now I'll come back.
Good. Okay.
And I always think, because I did a dance for Mehera, I asked her if I could do a dance. So she gave me 3 minutes. It was on Baba's birthday. And I had this song, and it was 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And so I got out. It was at Marazad, where we would have tea with everyone, and they had a tarp, a canvas spread. And so the music came on. It's called Mehera. So such a beautiful song. I play it all the time. And I started to move, and it was like I was on the wrong planet. I hardly moved my body. And I would think I had this, what I call mind attack. Like, why did you ask to do this? This is my mind suggesting I made a bad selection. What's the matter with you? This is painful. And so, but I thought, I've got to, Mehera's sitting there, I've got to complete this dance. And I saw it as a prayer dance. And I see each one's life is our prayer dance. Whatever we do is important because it's our giving to God. We have nothing more to give than our little motions and yeah.
And she liked it, right? Yeah.
I'm sure, I don't know, but years later in Los Angeles, someone had been there and I was speaking at how painful that was. I could hardly move. And she says, I'm surprised, she says, that was the lightest dance I'd ever seen you do. And so I thought, you think your life is at times you can hardly bear it, and but that's all you have to offer. It's the bottom line and the top line, But it was a lesson for Rosalie when she said that. Oh no, that was, yeah. How many good times.
Yeah, so many good times.
Yeah. And I love hearing my place. I got in a little late, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a book you want to look at again and again. I love it.
Yeah, I have it because a good friend gave it to me.
Oh, really?
Once upon a time.
Yeah.
Anyway, man cannot have God without telling stories. God cannot have man without creating stories. In this storytelling universe, I am only a comma. And Baba said to Phyllis one time, to Darwin, he said it to Darwin, and 20 years later, Darwin, it got back to Phyllis. And Baba said to Darwin, isn't Phyllis wonderful? Yeah.
Well, are we winding up with Rosalie? You never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna stop recording anyway.
We're lining up with a new life.
You. Oh, thank you for okay.
Yeah. And Adi K with Bob. I love that picture.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You have a nice copy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Turning off the recording.